live. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm fine, absolutely brilliant.
Class. How's this week been for you?
Absolutely brilliant, mate. I've got my bike came on Tuesday.
Oh, aye. Sweet.
So basically for over a week now, because I was using Haley's bike before, I've been getting out and doing like a kind of bit of cardio lately. So I've been actually, to tell you the truth, Sam, I've been doing more cardio than weightlifting this week. Over the last week.
Me too, to be honest, mate. Me too, to be honest. But it's just about adapting in it. So you're obviously enjoying that right now.
Oh,
yeah, what I was going to do is get up this screen. Can you see my screen? If I share this, you should be able to see my screen, yeah?
Yeah, I can see you in the bottom.
Spot on. I was going to go on your photo just so we can talk about it. And obviously you can see it as a visual here. So I've got it up so you can see that okay, can you?
Yeah, that's spot on.
You remember back, I think that was it last June we started training?
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of June. I think I'd been away on holiday.
Yeah.
And when I came, and I think I actually messaged you while I was away on holiday, to get started. When I got back, and I think we had it was like sort of like agreement, and when I would come back, we would start on a certain date. I think it was the beginning of June. I said I was away in May. I was in Bulgaria because that's why I had a bit of a tan, even on my fatty picture, you know. So I had a bit of a tan there. So I'd been to Bulgaria. We went on the 17th of May last year. So I was away for, I think it was about 7 to 10 days or something. And then when we came back, you were right, I've got you an intake for. So like I say, I think it was either back end of May, beginning of June.
Yeah, it was definitely back then. So it's been what, let's say 10, 11 months that you've been training with us now. I just want to ask you about, that before photo there. What was your diet like at the time? What was your training like at the time? How did you feel at the time? What was it like on that?
I'll tell you, and I'll go quite depth prior to that, because that was probably the end of that was the beginning of mid 2019. But in 2018,
you were injured, weren't you, for a long time?
But I went through a little bit of a bad time with mental health, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because I have clinical depression, which is I don't know. There's obviously a difference between reactive depression and clinical depression, and I'm diagnosed with clinical depression, and with clinical depression, it just happens for no reason. There's no triggers. It's not reacting to a situation or anything. It was once before, and like I say, it came over again in the mid 2018 to the end of 2008 when I actually did something about it. So. For this, when I got myself put right after the Christmas, New Year, and what have you, I thought, right, I'm going to start going back training. And I bought a new car, and I had an agreement with my wife that I was going to look after her car interior, and she would look after the outside. So 1 week I was cleaning the car. I'd started a little bit back training, cleaning the car and done me back, right? And I've got a bit of a dodgy back. I've always had a bit of a dodgy back, Sam, and I always look at it. And stupidest things make it go. And I was just hoovering the floor in the bottom of her car. And my back went, and I thought, it generally goes when your back goes, it'll go for a week or two, and it'll be all right. But this went on for months, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely months. And then I was just, and people say, oh, you like quite a fit family, aren't you? Quite fit. My wife trains 6 days a week. My son trains 5 days a week. He's only 9 years old, and kickboxing, and Haley does skinny pigs, and she does weightlifting as well. So basically I turned into a taxi driver, Sam.
Yeah, so not training really affected you.
I couldn't do anything at all. I was absolutely balled up. It was one of those injuries that just wouldn't clear, and I was resting it. There was nothing happening. I ended up going to a chiropractor, and he gave us relief for a short period of time, but it came back, and I just had to rest it for as long as I possibly could. And it took, like I say, around about 4 to 5 months to put this injury right.
Yeah.
And that was when I went away on holiday to Bulgaria, and I thought, right, I need to do something about this. But when we back getting a little bit, how I was going back to the gym, and I was doing like maybe 1 or 2 days, and my motivation, because of the way I was feeling, I felt crap in myself, to tell you the truth.
So you found out early on when you couldn't do your usual exercise that you wanted to do, you understood that had an effect on the way you feel and the emotions you are creating. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing was, I'd just gotten over a depressive episode, and I was still taking medication, which I still take now, right? But what it was doing in my head, Sam, if I couldn't go to the gym, that was getting on top of us a little bit. So I was thinking, right, I'm not going to go. If I can't go, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
And when I was away, when I'd been having the little sessions in the gym and doing a couple of days here and a couple of days there, obviously I was watching what everyone was doing, and I was having a big crack with the lad, Davy Graham, one of the lads who was working with you now. I spoke with Sam, with Reece Isles and the lads in the gym and a few of the lads. And I was going, there's some kids, and he says, I'm sure they're PTs and that, you know. I says, I don't want a personal trainer. I know how to train. I've trained for years, you know. I says, but I want someone to help us, like, get motivation going, and somebody who I'm responsible, who I'm like accountable to. You know what I mean? I want accountability. And the lads were going, oh, you see the lad over there? You see the lad? He's dead quiet. Sam over there, but he's the man. And I was talking to a couple of the young lads who I've known for quite a while. It's like Chris Binks, who's actually a PT now.
A good friend of mine,
His dad's one of my best mates, and probably you'll see his with his T-shirt on around the gym sometime. I've never worked with Chris, but he gives us a T-shirt. So anyway, but I see it, and Chris, I think it was just when Chris was just starting the first career. But I didn't want somebody I knew, because I could have went to Chris and went work with Chris, but I wanted to work with someone totally who was alien to us, who I didn't know, who I couldn't manipulate. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you do, don't you?
Yeah.
You know? And
that just shows how perceptive you are of the areas of your life that you needed to improve, though, because you knew that you needed someone who you didn't know who was going to call you out and say, look, this is what you need to do, and I'm going to keep you accountable for it. And it's obviously worked for you.
Yeah. And like I say, then it got to the point where I was away on holiday, and I thought, right, and I was looking on Facebook and stuff, and I'd seen that you had like the Limitless Training and all that, and then that's when I just messaged you, and I said, yeah, Sam, I says, there's any chance like I can have a little bit of a little, I think we had about 3 or 4 text messages between it, and I thought, right, that's the guy I want to work with. I want to work with him. I want to see what I can do. And there was another lad who I worked with, a lad called Carl, little kid called Carl. He'd started working with me when TV. I didn't stick to it. But I thought to myself, you know what it is? This is not just about you. This is about me getting into the right mindset, right, to be able to see this through. You know, even if it's only for 8 weeks or 16 weeks, you know what I mean? To see it through, so I'd start getting myself out of shape with a bit more motivation, accountability to somebody, you know, and with the photos and the checking in and stuff like that, which I found as a massive help. Honestly,
of course.
Just for me to check in just once a week. Some people probably want to check in more, but for me, because I wanted to be the best I possibly could every Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I sent me photos in, I wanted to see a difference, and I wanted to put my. Now I used to put this way, I was terrible, because I used to every week I would put my first photo on and put this week's photos on, and I would be checking out myself to see if I could make a difference. If I didn't think I'd made enough effort and enough difference in that week, Sam, I used to go in the gym and hit it harder.
Yeah, well, that's the power of accountability for coaching. I mean, it's not just like me who you want to impress. Obviously, as your coach, you want to impress us and get the results that you wanted. But it was also for yourself. You had that internal drive where you know what your targets were and you know how you wanted to feel, and you knew the only person who was gonna get that was you. So you were internally motivated as well as having the accountability from the outside, and it was a great combo. You know, and that's how you got the results that you've gotten. You know.
You know, and you know what it is? It's one of those things as well. It's you only get out of it what you put back into it. If you go into something half-hearted, you're only going to get half the results that you want.
Yeah.
Right. If you give it 10%, you just you're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your own time. You know.
It's not about being perfect though, David. You know that it's about being consistent. You know, so even on your plan, how many nights out have you had? How many off-plan meals? You know, social occasions. It's a lifestyle transfer. Even though you've got a transformation in a wonderful one there in terms of your body composition, but what the main transformation was your lifestyle, the way you put your attention on things, the way you prioritize things that were high value to you. And you mentioned something before that I want to go back on, when you couldn't go to the gym when you were injured. Like you said, you felt like you had some depression and you just couldn't do what you wanted to do to make yourself feel better. That was simply because you valued exercise very highly. You know, that was something that was highly prioritized for you, and you couldn't do it. When everyone has something of high value that they can't do, we do get that, that depressive feeling. It's a totally natural instinct. So for a while it was hard for you to figure that out, but obviously the injury went, and you've put this lifestyle together where you're constantly striving for that high value priority, and it's worked for you.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, man, Sam, it's like, for me, you get to a certain age. I'm 46, I'm 47 in a couple of months' time, and you get little niggly injuries, which when you're in your mid-20s, which would take a couple of days. You might even train through them. You know what I mean? But when you get into your late 30s, early 40s and stuff, you know, you have to start looking after yourself a little bit better. Because the other thing is as well, if you do start putting weight on at that age, it takes twice as long to get it off. You know? And I don't know this. I've got a son who's 9-year-old, and I want him to look at me and go, and not be ashamed in any way, shape, or form. Go, oh, my dad, because I always remember before I started doing it, he went, Dad, you've got flabs. Right? I was like, oh, yes, son, I've got flabs. And
that's
his son.
That's his son there, and kickboxing he does, is it? Yeah.
He's a kickboxer. He's good as well, you know. I'm not just saying it, but a lot of people have said that.
I've seen the videos, man. They're insane. Some of the stuff he does. But it just and there's your wife Haley as well. So it's obviously a very, like you said, fitness-based family. So it's obviously it's not something that you just hold as a high priority in your life. Your exercise, the whole family does.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's like you know what it is. It's like I say. Ever since I met my wife Haley, you know, like we've been together 20 years now, and she's always done it, Sam. And I mean, like she used to, when we first got together, she used to run to work, right, and then she used to go to the leisure centre from the hospital and do a double step aerobics class at double speed. You know, she's always been fitness driven.
Do you think that had a positive impact on you wanting to be like that as well? Yeah.
Well, I would always train, Sam, even when I was younger. I trained from a very young age. But you know what it is? It was like sporadic training. It was like, you know yourself, like when I was a bit younger, I used to dabble in bits and pieces in this, and I would blow up and I would put all the size on and then stop taking it and go out on benders and stuff, because that's what you do when you're young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm getting older.
The reasons why you've changed, the reasons why you train now have changed as you've got older. It's not for that materialistic look, it's for that internal feeling of accomplishment.
Don't get us wrong, we all want to look good, Sam, right? You always want to look good. I want to look good for, like, when you walk down the street with my wife, or when I've got the pain with us, you know, you want to look fit and healthy and well. But it's more about people think, it's like, especially when you get the young ones want to look brilliant because they're still alphas, they're out there, they're looking for. Like I say, I'm with my wife. I want to look good for them. I tell you this, but the thing I want to feel most is I want to feel good inside, in my head. The outlook on life has to be right now.
I know. I've said this before, Davey. I mean, everyone wants to be in shape. Like, I would be lying right now if I said, I don't care about the way I look. It's all about the way I feel. That's bullshit. Obviously, I care about the way I look. Everyone cares about the way they look, but it's no longer the number one priority. No. If you can get yourself to feel good, if you feel amazing, accomplished, confidence, you know, lower your anxiety, lower your stress, you're going to look good on it, because everything's just going to click into place. So if you aim to feel good, you will look good by default. And I think that's where, especially younger people, like you mentioned, with the whole social media thing and the whole, you know, lad male bravado thing, wanting to be massive and, you know, impress the girls. It's always like this. Look, it's this look. So the aspect of fitness that was meant to improve our lives and our mental health, if you like, can often or not, if the priorities aren't right, be the complete opposite. And I think there's a lot of that going on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely, when you're young, that's definitely about the aesthetics. It's about what you look like. Because you don't care what you feel like, because you know what it is. You'll go out on the drink on a weekend and you'll do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you feel terrible. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but you'll go to the gym.
Do it again. Aye. You only care about how you feel until it's too late, until you actually feel terrible. Then you start caring about how you feel. You can get away with it for a certain amount of time, but it'll hit you. If you don't prioritize the way you feel, you can only get away with it for so long until an alarm bell will go off inside your inner consciousness and tell you, this ain't working right now, you know, you need to change it.
The thing is, it's like, I'm sure, I think as well, when you do get a bit of that, the priorities in your life change as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, especially when you get responsibilities, you get a family, you get a home, you get a job, you know, and your job that you've got to keep a certain standard of life and family and stuff. And I tell you what it is, what you find as well is that when you become physically well and mentally well, the illnesses that you get become less. Or they take less time to get older.
Prioritizing health and fitness has an impact on every area of your life. Family, relationships, health, finances. You know, when you're feeling good, you're not wasting money on shit to make you feel better. You know what I mean? You feel good off the simple things in life. If you get your health and fitness right there, I guarantee you financially as well, you're in a better position, because you're prioritizing the way you feel. You know what I mean? You're not wasting money on garbage, and you know what I mean. You're not going through life trying to throw money at problems to make yourself feel better. And You know, there's an element of that as well. So improving this whole lifestyle, like you said, it's like a lifestyle transformation. It affects your family. It affects, you know, your finances. It affects how much fun you're able to have. It affects the way you feel. It's everything. It's all in, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, it's like when you have a young'un, you know, it's like the last thing you ever want to be is you don't snap all the time and feeling crap all the time, because you know it is that projects onto them. That projects onto them, and you know it is. And all you want for your kids and everything is just to be happy, right? And if I can project that I'm happy and feeling well and looking good and, you know, all the things that we do, and try to put this sort of nurture into him.
Like healthy habits, healthy lifestyle habits.
Healthy lifestyle, consistency. You know, because you don't get anywhere in life without being consistent.
Oh, I know. Consistency is key.
Consistency and hard work. You know, don't get us wrong. There's the people out there who are natural athletes or natural whatever, right? And if things do come easy to them, but that's a very, very, very small percentage of people in life. You know, most people have to work hard and be consistent to get what they want out of life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just it's not just about going to the gym. It's about your work ethic when you go to work. It's about work ethic. You'll take that work ethic into the way you train, the way you feel, the way you eat your food, the way you prep your food, instead of just constantly going and picking crap out the cupboard. You know, you've got to have some sort of willpower, because you know what it is. It's dead easy to have. We have a cupboard where Joe has his rubbish. You know it is, and he does. He's a young kid, and he still wants to have his packet of crisps and his bars of chocolate, which we allow him to have in moderation. But you know what it is, Sam? It'd be dead easy for me when I'm bored on a night time, just to stand up and go, I am going to go and get something there. You know, I'll go and get a rice cake. You know, I'll go and get a rice cake, because that's in my diet plan. So what I don't do through the day, is I'm allowed sometimes 4, sometimes 8, depending on what I'm doing. You know, and I won't eat them all in the morning. And what I'll do is, because I know I'll want something of an evening after my evening meal. I'll save it for something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I try and teach in my coaching. It's not just about follow this diet. It's also about learning how your body responds, and when you feel hungry, and when you can plan your meals, when you can, you know, like you said, possibly save some calories for later to counteract this. Because a big barrier, it's not that the diet's hard, it's that there's other aspects of life get in the way that stops you from following it. And I think that's where people go wrong and don't get the results they want. They're not looking at this as a lifestyle. So following a diet successfully isn't just eating what's on the plan. It's understanding, when are you going to be more likely to fall off track with your hunger? Can you do something about that? Like you said, putting calories later on, stop the temptation, bringing other people into play. You know, if you got your wife and kid who are eating healthy as well, you're not going to feel the need to go off plan and eat junk, self-sabotage, if you like. But it's just all about that thing in moderation. Like, you've got the ability where you can have an off-plan meal, you can have a night out, you can enjoy yourself, but when it's time to get back on track, it's just like brushing your teeth. You just do it automatically. You don't have to rely on willpower and things, because you do it because the benefit you get is it makes you feel good and it reaches goals.
The thing is as well, man, Sam, a lot of people think that if you have like an off-plan meal, or you have a night out, that's it, knackered. Well, nowadays you don't put fat on because of one meal. You don't put fat on and weight on or change the way you look because of one night out.
I know.
It's when you consistently eat crap, when you consistently down on the drink. And it is, when I even like last year, when I was totally rigid. Now it is, and I was still having off-plan meals when I was getting them off. I used to look forward to them. When we used to have like the night out. But it is, I used to go out maybe once a month, and because I tell you, it is at the age I'm at, on a Saturday night, me and Haley and the little one, like nothing more than just sitting, having something to eat, and with an off-plan meal. My off-plan meal, Sam, would be a chicken kebab, but I would just have no sauce or nothing on it, so it was just chicken. You know what I mean? And I saw that.
Even then, you're starting to make more conscious choices, even though it's classed as an off-plan meal, because you know the impact it has on the way it makes you feel.
Yeah. You know what it is? That's one thing I will say, is that what I've noticed is a couple of times when I had like a heavy night on the drink or something, the next day, everyone falls off the wagon a little bit, and your body craves carbs. Your body craves carbs when you've had a drink, and you would eat a little bit more crap. But that would be on the Sunday, but on the Monday, I would feel tired and terrible and lethargic of it. And that wasn't just because of the drink; it's because of what I put in my body the next day as well.
Yeah. Well, the nutrition is fuel for your body, So what goes in must create the way you feel. It's literally the fuel. So Yeah, it's like I said, you can have alcohol and junk food in moderation, but you have to know when it's not working for you anymore. And obviously, we're both males, so we understand that there is a bit of a lad culture about going out every weekend, getting full of drink and God knows what else, and they do this continuously for years and years, and then they wonder why they don't feel good. It's like, well, look at your lifestyle, look at the fuel you're putting in your body. That's going to have an effect on the way you feel mentally and physically. You can't abuse your body like that. And that goes for nutrition, it goes for sleep, it goes for recovery, it goes for everything.
But the thing is, also, is now when you're a young lad and you do that, you think, I'm happy, man. I'm young. But I tell you what,
it's only all right until it's not. Everyone will hit that point. I hit that point, when I realised, look, I need to start looking after my mental health, my physical health, because this ain't working. I'm not feeling very good right now. I need to change it up. So, like you said, when you're young, you can get away with it because you can, but you can only get away with it until you can't, if that makes sense. They'll hit that point and you're like...
You know yourself, man, Sam. It's like when you were a young'un, when I was in my early, mid-20s, I used to go out on a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and I used to get off of work on a Monday, and I didn't get it wrong, I would feel a little bit rough. But I tell you, there's those hangovers now, right? And I probably drink less and do less things to my body now than what I did then. The hangovers now, I can go out on a Saturday night and I can still be bad on Thursday.
That just kicks your ass. I'm 25 and I feel like that. That's why I don't drink. I can't afford to take 3 days off work because that's how much it would take us out the game.
But it's mad because that you hit the nail on the head. It's where now, when I go out, I deliberately won't get absolutely slaughtered, right? Because it'll affect the training I'm on.
Yeah. Well, you've got that back to the values again. Your values have changed. If you live by your highest values all the time, you'll have a good life. When people value things that are detrimental to them and they actually prioritize them, don't have a good life. They don't have a good, set of behaviors, habits, actions, the way they feel. When you've got good values and you prioritize, and even by saying like that, like, oh, I am going to go out and enjoy myself, but I'm still conscious of not, making myself too hungover. So the things I want to do during the week are affected. You've got that mindset now where you've got your values and you stick to it and you live by that, and that's how you're able to generate a very positive, happy life for yourself.
The other thing, going back to food, is that one thing I learned through the coaching and everything that you do, and setting up meal plans and the online coaching, is that I started to respect food more.
Yeah, you told me a few weeks ago that you did all the nutrition things you did for all your life were completely wrong, weren't they? You said you were it wrong.
I always tell you, when I used to have a meal, I used to feel cheated if I wasn't full to the brim.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When you feel like I eat until I feel sick. You know what I mean?
That was me. I used to love that content feeling.
Yeah, and I used to feel cheated. But now I have 6 meals a day, but with a spacing them out, with 2.5, 3 hours between each meal.
Energy so much better. Now,
I don't have to feel like I'm down to spew.
Yeah.
To feel like that contentment feeling with food.
Yeah, it's no good, that feeling. It's so bad for your energy because you have to think you're getting a load of nutrients, and more often than not, when people have this lifestyle where they don't eat for long periods and they absolutely gorge, they're normally gorging on higher calorie food. So, I remember back in the day, like 3-4 years ago, I'd not eat all day, then I'd come home and have all my food because I'd been that busy and I hadn't been looking after myself, and I just eat a load of junk at once. Your energy's terrible. You're getting all the blood sugar spikes, all the nutrients coming in at once. Your energy's all over the place. Whereas if you've got a consistent nutrition plan, that's spaced out, you're not bursting full, but you're just eating enough to keep you going. You're allowing it to fuel your body for what it's meant to do, which is make you feel amazing. But most people, the nutrition plan is that bad. It does the opposite of make them feel amazing. It's actually detrimental. A lot of people said that to me when they start that coach, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe how I'm not bloated anymore. I was bloated my whole life. And it's like, well, why? So, I was eating foods that weren't good for us and not eating too much of them. It's like people live with IBS and things the whole life,
And it is. It's just because they eat the wrong stuff at the wrong time. You know what it's doing is wrong. People, there's fallacies out there that way. If you eat before you go to bed and this, that, and that. Yeah, just get your calories in, get your numbers right, and you'll be all right.
Simple as that. You've all got your numbers to aim for. Body fat and muscle gain and body composition's down to it's literally numbers, calories in, calories out. Burn off more than you eat, you'll lose weight, and burn off less than you eat, you'll gain weight. So whatever goal you've got in mind, fat loss, muscle gain, have your calories, be consistent with it. Have the little bit of wiggle room for the occasional off-plan meal night out, as well as the day where, let's face it doesn't go to plan and you end up fucking up because everyone fucks up. Allow a little bit of wiggle room for that. Be consistent 80-90% of the time, you'll be good to go. Doesn't have to be that serious, does it? just has to be consistent, like you said.
What I will say is when I first started out, I wanted to be bang on all the time, because I think when you first get involved with someone like yourself and you get on one of these plans, if you don't get the mindset right that you're actually going to be rigid for the first 8 weeks at least, right? I think it's pointless doing, because you will fall off the wagon far too.
Sometimes that's needed. Like, I must say that I know I'm very flexible with clients, and I will factor in their sort of capabilities, willpower levels, if you like, and knowledge and nutrition and training and their willpower to do it. I will factor that in. But if you can give it a real good go, you are trying to change your lifestyle. If you can kind of get it ingrained in you from the start, and then kind of make it more flexible later, you will get better results that way. Sometimes it does work, just kind of throwing yourself in the deep end, because that generates results very fast, which is enough to keep you going, So sometimes the slow and steady approach in some individuals doesn't work. So maybe you needed that way. You just went boom, bang, in 8 weeks, got the results you wanted. Then you kind of thought, right, how can I maintain this a bit more, a bit more stable? Because it is what's the word? It's not good to be dieting in a calorie deficit for long periods of time. You should only do it in short amounts. 2-3 months, and maybe have a break and another 2-3 months. So I think you kind of got a great amount of fat loss at first. Then I think we've done it. We've done like a fat loss phase and a lean bulk, didn't we, for a couple of months, and then we're back in a fat loss phase now.
We're back in a fat loss phase now, because basically what it would probably been starting either the back end of, I think I was going to start me cut again, my fat loss in, I think it was beginning of May, so it would have been coming up. But I think with the coronavirus and everything coming around, obviously being in lockdown and gyms not being open, we just had the conversation and I think we need to pull this forward, because it's going to be, if I still eat the amount that I'm eating, and the calories and the fat and the fats and the carbs and the protein intake I was having, I would have been in a massive
surplus,
a load of food and a massive surplus, and I would have been putting fat on. And I didn't want that. I wanted to put it this way, Sam. When those first photos were taken, I was nearly 38 waist. Right now, I'm still, put it this way, even 4 weeks ago when I was starting this book, I was 18 stone 1 or something, and I still had my waist down to 32 inches. So, and that's where I want to keep it at, because basically my waist now is still 32, right? And I want to keep it at that. I don't want to get a massive waistline again and hanging out with my kegs and that, But it's just like I say, I think everybody wants different things out of it, and I think you'll get the people who want to do it for 8-16 weeks, and then they feel as if that's enough and that they can do it. But like I say, we've been working together for coming up to a year now, and it'll be going on till whenever.
You've got one of them mindsets, David. It's like what I categorize as a growth mindset. So it's not just like a case of, I've achieved that, right, I'll see you later, I'm done now. It's like, right, what's next? You're always pushing for that next level. Whether that's body fat, muscle gain, personal development, improving your family relationship, everything.
It's like So what I tend to do is I try to set myself like small achievable goals, because I think if you set yourself a goal that's far too high, right, you're setting yourself up to fail.
More often than not, you can't measure a goal that's too high. Like you say, I want to be like this in a year. It's like, how are you going to specifically measure that? You need small targets that you aim for consistently over a shorter period of time. They all add up to the long-term goal. Have an idea what you want to achieve, but that's the one thing people make. They make the wrong goals. Like, I want to be ripped in 16 weeks. It's like, right, but what do you want to do this week, or what do you want to do today? I don't know. I want to be ripped in 16 weeks. It's like, you've got to have that short-term goal. That's what keeps you ticking over.
Yeah, but it's like, I want to be ripped in 16 weeks, but I've got a holiday planned in 4 weeks, and I've got 3 nights out booked over the next 5 weeks. So it's like, that's not achievable, because you're gonna nap it. You've got to give yourself time. And it is a lot of people. Like you see them in the gym, and it generally gets around to about, I don't know, April, May time. They go, I'm going on holiday in June, and I'm thinking, well, you should have been training.
Leave it too late.
Leave it too late. Well, it's a psychological thing, isn't it? It's I think weight training and bodybuilding is probably one of the most psychological sports in the world, because you can get inside your own head and you can look at other people and measure yourself. But that's one thing I don't do anymore, because I used to go in the gym and see some lads and go, that's what I want to be like. And it was my body composition was totally wrong to look like.
I sent an email about it this morning. You shouldn't negatively compare yourself to other people. When you do that, you're asking for trouble. Everyone compares themselves to other people. That's totally fine. But once you feel you're lower in your state, if you think, oh, I wish I looked like him, and then you realize you can't do that, or you don't, or you think, well, you're a little bit inferior. You've had the perception that's the way you're feeling, and that is one thing I have found in weight training, especially training men and even women as well. That act of negatively comparing yourself can more often than not, it can be a good thing. It can motivate you, but it can also do the opposite. So you have to be very careful. So that's something that you've realised, obviously, and you've changed your behaviour on that.
Yeah, I think that just comes with age and a little bit wisdom, really, doesn't it?
The sooner you learn that, the happier life you'll have.
Yeah, just focus on yourself and just be the best you can be. Yeah.
All you can control yourself.
Yeah, it's about you can only control your own destiny. You're in control of your own destiny, and if you put all the hard work in, eventually you'll get the way you really want to be. But
you can only control two things. You can only control two things in the world: your own perceptions and your actions. That's it. You can't even control your thoughts. You can't even stop them. Thoughts just come in. No. It's all about what perception you have. You can have a negative thought and you can have a negative belief like, oh my God, I don't look like that man there. Or what you package that thought up and make yourself feel, that is your perception and your daily actions. That's the only thing you can control. Once you have that knowledge that it's all about your perceptions and how you are wrapping up the situations in your life, if you like, and then how you act in the world, that's the only things you can control. You can't control what other people think of you. You can't get them to like you. You can't get them to hate you. You can't look like them. You can't control the weather. You can't control the fucking coronavirus. You know what I mean? So all you can control is your own perceptions and your own action. Once you realise that, you're a powerful individual.
Yeah, you know what it is. Like you say, Sam, it's about being happy with what you are, really. And you've got to. Don't get us wrong. We've all got little goals and little aspirations that we want to do and how we want to feel. I tell you, it is. If I can get close to the way I want to look and the way I want to feel, I'll be a happy man. It's simple things in life, really. And I tell you what it is, this coronavirus carry on that's been on there, that's knocking about at the minute. And I think a lot of people now will come out of this on the other side and
people. I certainly am. I certainly will.
They'll come out better people, right? And it'll not be hopefully where they're just all they think about is possession things, and stuff like that.
I feel like it's been a big reset, Davey. I feel like it's been a big reset for humanity. That obviously there's negatives, all the deaths, the economic strife, and people being paid off and things. But I do like to believe there's positives in every situation. There is no negatives without positives, because they're literally intertwined, because there's positives and negatives to everything. And there is positive and negatives to the coronavirus. And I believe in focusing on the positives and giving them more attention. And the positives it's all allowed us to take stock of our lives and maybe think about what's really important. Think of all that materialistic stuff that we haven't had now, all the bars, the nights out, going out dressed up and doing all this thing. It's like we can't even do that anymore, but we're still here. We're all right. We're taking over. Did we really need that all along? Or was it just our perception thinking we did? Like the simple things in life, if you value it highly, you can have a very happy life. You don't need all that bullshit on the outside.
It is. It's like the things that we do more is you find out that when you do spend more time with your family, and for me, it's just the small things, the easy things, the free things in life, just
how wonderful is that you get to spend more time with your family? I mean, how's it bad thing?
My wife still goes to work every day because she works for the NHS, right?
Yeah.
But obviously the little one's off school and I'm working from home. I tell you what it is, right? It's an absolute pleasure to be around that kid. Where some people are going, how control your kid? I didn't. You know what it is? We sat him down and we explained the situation, but in a way that you'd understand, that didn't frighten him at the time when it was first starting to come out, and he just went, all right, fair enough, no problem. And I tell you what it is, like I say, every day we're doing the homeschooling. 9 o'clock he comes down, he does his maths, he does his English. He has an hour reading time, and he can go and play on games and have a little bit of socialisation with his friends. And then he comes back down after dinner and he's got a couple of things to do for school after dinner. And the rest of the day is his, and I'm still working in between, like helping him and stuff. And I tell you what it is, mate, been an absolute pleasure being around him. And you know it is, and
wonderful.
you realize,
Wonderful.
you know it is, and you realize how lucky I am to have a kid and a wife who we didn't really have a crossword.
Yeah, mate. Well, you have to give yourself some props for that, because it's your parent, and your the impact that you're having on him as his dad that's allowed him to be like that. So this reward that you're experiencing now with having a good family time during this horrible time in the world has only come from the work you've put in previously. By being true to yourself, you know what I mean, and having that lifestyle the way you prioritize how a healthy, positive life. It's obviously had an impact on your family as well. So that comes from your work before this. You know what I mean? This coronavirus has exposed a lot of people, and I mean exposed in a negative way and in a positive way. It's exposed the good things you had in life, that you had a good, solid family life with positive values already. So when this coronavirus has started, it's exposed that you had that installed and you were all right. But a lot of people, maybe they didn't have that. Maybe the kids are driving them up the wall. It's revealed a few issues there. Personally for me, it revealed that I wasn't organised in things, you know what I mean? Because it was a scary time the first week or so when I went off, with my business. I didn't know what was going to happen, you know what I mean? Being relying on going to the gym and training people, I was like, shit, I haven't got things in order, you know what I mean? So it exposed that to me, and this whole thing's either exposing the good things you've had, or it's also exposing the things you need to improve, I think, unfortunately, a lot of people have realised that they were using bars, restaurants, food, and other people to make them happy. Now this coronavirus is starting, they can't have that. It's exposed that to them, and they're struggling, and I get it, and I feel for them. But maybe if there is a positive thing to come out of this negative situation, maybe the people who maybe has exposed negative things can actually act upon that and change that right now. So there's a positive. Whatever happens with this coronavirus, there is a positive out of it, whether that's it's allowed you to find yourself, it's allowed you to improve yourself, or maybe it's exposed a weakness or an area for improvement that you need to focus on. So that's the way you have to see it. Otherwise, we don't win out of the situation.
Yeah, it is. But it just goes to prove that, like, the simple things that you just actually take for granted, Sam, like coming in from work and getting changed and go to the gym, how much you actually enjoy that. And it was never a chore.
I know,
you know what I mean?
I know.
And it should never be a chore.
It's total reset of our perceptions and our values, isn't it? I think the world's going to be a better place after this. I honestly do.
Yeah, I hope so. It is. I hope so, and I hope people when the lockdown is all done and we do get out again, and we start having like social nights and stuff, and just being able to socialise with people who not having.
Yeah, we'll never take it for granted again.
No, you shouldn't take it for granted, because this could happen anytime, and it could happen again. And the only thing I do hope for is that when they do relax the lockdown, we don't get another spike and have to go back into lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know how it's going to work, do we? Because that doesn't make sense. Like, how can it be, high one day and all of a sudden, right, it's over, go back to your normal life? It's like, well, will it really go that quick? So there might be an element of
you get people putting stuff on social media. We'll be back in the gym by the 11th of May. I won't.
How do we know? They're just assuming. They're living their life by assuming. Assumption, presumption. It doesn't make sense. We don't know. Like I said before, there's only two things you can control: your own perceptions and your actions. We can't assume what's going to happen because we can't control that. So you need to just concentrate on the now. Each day, how can you be the best version of yourself? And that's how you create a happy life. Not about worrying about the future. Have it in mind, but it ain't about worrying about it, because we can't control that. But what we can control is the information we take in, package up, and then put out into the daily world. So to get that nailed, you can make the best of this bad situation.
It is. You just got to accept the situation that we're in and just deal with it. This is the hand we've been dealt at the moment. And it's not just me, it's not just you, it's everybody. I know. Now we're all in the same boat.
Only thing that separates is with perception. Some people are hating it, some people are loving it. What's the difference? Perception. That's it. And also, that'll probably trigger some people saying that, the people who are maybe are in a bad place and not enjoying it. Oh, you don't know what I'm going through, you don't know what I'm feeling. It's like, I know I don't, but it's a perception. You're packaging it up that way, and if you can get that, and if you can understand it, you have more power of how you can live your life now, because you're not ruled by your thoughts, you're ruled by your own perceptions.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's about accepting the new normal. And this present moment in time. This is my new normal, and
it's the only thing we live in. We live in the present. So many people spend their lives worrying about the future, worrying about the past, or comparing their life to the past. That's gone now. That don't exist. The real future and the things you're experiencing is right now in the present. So that's all you can focus on, the present. And if you live in the present, you will have a wonderful future, because you've built it. because you've been present, you've worked in the moment to create the life you want. You can't worry about the future, so we can't allow ourselves to get dragged down by this corona thing, because it will destroy our present,
Don't get us wrong, it's not the greatest thing in the world, right? And it's terrible that we've had 19,000 people die,
Yeah.
Who knows? How many more people are going to die? How many actually more people have died? Because that's only the deaths in the hospital, isn't it? The 18,500, 19,000.
Like I say, we're just assuming. We don't even know. What even if the information we're being told, who knows if that's right? It could be 10 times more. We don't even know.
Yeah, that's it. Because you know what it is. At the end of the day, are they doing things to protect us? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on down the country, or people who's dying down the country, or this or that and that. Nowadays, we can only control what's in the here and now.
I know if you look after yourself and the ones close to you, and you put out positivity into the universe, I do believe we'll get through it and you'll be all right. But unfortunately, worrying about the future, I know it's people's natural instinct to worry, but it doesn't serve you at all. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family. It doesn't make you safer. Actually, if you want to get scientific about it, when you put negative thoughts in your head and create worry, it actually lowers your immune system. So those people who are worried and making statuses, they're more likely to get the virus because they've lowered their immune system. Whereas people like us who are just saying, right, okay, it's scary, but we're going to focus on the here and now. We're going to exercise and eat healthy. We're boosting our immune system. So the best way to fight the virus is to live your life positively. That's the best way. You know what I mean? That's it.
Put this way, like I say, I'll take the information on board that they give her every day at 5 o'clock. And in 3 weeks' time or 2 weeks' time, or whatever it is now, then when it's reviewed again, then I'll take that seriously. But when I see stuff going on in the papers and other media outlets and stuff like that, I just take the pinch of salt, Sam, at the end of the day, because you know what it is. Anybody who writes something down to sell a paper, to get someone to go into that site or wherever, it's, for me, it's just like, man, just listen to what they're telling you, because at the end of the day, no matter what we say, they're driven by science, and that's what they're saying. They're driven by scientific evidence. And if their scientific evidence is coming back, that things aren't changing the way they should, in 3 weeks' time, they'll say the lockdown goes longer.
Yeah, I know. I've accepted it now. I'm ready to just deal with it now, because I know I control the way I feel in the present by my own actions and perceptions. So whatever's happening in the outside world, I know I can control that somewhat by just focusing on what I know I can focus on. But let's face it, hasn't had an impact on the way I feel or the way you feel or your results as far as fat loss. It hasn't, has it?
No, well, put it this way, since we had the discussion, right, Sam, and we changed the diet, right? On my last weigh-in, I was 17 stone. So, and the weigh-in 4 weeks prior to that, I was 18 stone. So I've actually lost the stone. Maybe I might have lost a little bit of muscle size because I'm not in the gym lifting heavy weights. But I accept that, and I know that's going to happen. But as long as I keep myself active, I do my press ups. I've got some weights off Reese, some little bits and pieces, and we'll do that. Do a bit buys, a little bit tries, do a little bit back with the elastic bands and stuff. And get out on the bike. I'm getting out on the bike every day and doing between my aim is to do at least 10k a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Around about 10k a day. So I keep myself actively fit. And there will be times when I'm going to go out by myself, because it's like I say, we'll go out as a family on the bikes. And obviously you've got to ride your weakest link, and the weakest link is my little one. So we're going to only go as far as it allows him to go. Where we could have done that, could have doubled that. But you know what? At the end of the day, as long as we're getting out of it what we need. But there will be times, like I say, when I'm going to go out by myself and I'll do maybe 20, 30k. Just off an hour and a half. And just you know what it is, when I am riding by myself or I'm out by myself, I just collect my thoughts and just have a little bit of a think and get my head together on that, and it's not like in a bad way. It's that I try to think of all the positive things I'm looking forward to when all this is finished and stuff. And that,
I know. You're just creating confidence for the future, but I know you're being on point with the way you feel and your emotions and your actions right now. You're just building that confidence, like you say. You can take it all in, and you can just feel your life just going to the way it wants to. And when this is all over, you'll get the rewards from it, because you've built that foundation in the background.
Yeah, I think as well. It's helped that the weather's been nice for the last 4 or 5 weeks as well.
Exactly. There's plenty positives. Weather, we're not complaining off work. How many times you got up in the morning, go to work, and went, I can't be bothered. Wish I could work from home today. We've just been given that opportunity, So there's pros and cons and everything. So there is positives to take from this as well. And obviously you're living proof of that as well, and I am, and my clients are inside the program. So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom out there. There's still progress to be made, both physical and mental, you know. So it's great to see, Davey, mate.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been nice to just have this chat, because like, and that's been recorded and stuff, but we've just had a chat, and it's just about what we do and how we feel, you know what I mean? And if like podcasts like this can, I don't know, motivate somebody, I think, oh, actually I can do that. It's not that hard, you know.
Yeah, it's simple, mate. It's just about prioritizing simple things in life that make you feel good. And once you have those high values prioritized and you work towards them, you're inspired. You know, if you work towards inspiration every day, you can't feel negative. You can't feel negative and inspired at the same time. So just try to
be 1% better today than when I was yesterday, and try to be 1% better tomorrow than I was today. You know what I mean? It's like,
and even if you make a mistake, it's a chance to learn. So even if you make a mistake, wonderful, you're going to progress next time.
The thing is, though, Sam, even if you make a mistake, right, as long as you learn from that mistake, you're still 1% better.
Yeah, exactly.
You've made a mistake and learn from it.
Yeah. When I make a mistake, I love it, because I'm like, you know what? There's an opportunity to learn. Buzzing. Class. Right, it's been great talking to you, mate. I'm going to have to go because this battery's like on 4%. It'll probably die. But it's been great catching up with you, mate. I'll speak to you in a couple of days. Really appreciate you doing this chat. It's been fantastic.
No problem.
Right, Jeff, taking the call, Davey. Have a great night, mate.
Look after yourself. See you later.